Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About It Tuesday. Welcome back, Eric.
Thank you.
I said when you came in, it feels like it's been a long time since we've been here, but it's really not that long. It's only been like 13 days.
Yes.
All right. Well, welcome back. And we're here to spend a couple of minutes talking with you about the message from Sunday. And sometimes I forget to say this, but I want to continually say it. We want to hear your thoughts and questions and feedback, something you may be hung up on, something that really stuck with you. So if you have any comments like that, go ahead and put them in the comments, and obviously we can't look at them right now, but we'll catch up on them when we're done. All right?
All right.
Okay, so this week we're in number 3 of 6 of REDTalks. And we have been just really digging really deep on the ways that we've pushed back against Sabbath. And this has probably been the hardest series for me in a while. Yeah. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I said, I don't feel like I'm an overly busy person, but when it's like two sides of the same coin, right? You can not be busy, but you can also not rest well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What do you think about that? Other than yes.
Yeah, that's my problem. I find different ways to I was telling Mark yesterday that my Sabbath looks a lot different than I would have thought it would, because being introverted, I like alone time, but I spend so much time working, and I spend a lot of time for school and work reading, that if I find myself alone on my Sabbath, I end up turning back to books, but then I mentally redline, so then my Sabbath isn't fulfilling. And
so it doesn't feel restful for you?
So then I just get into this place where mentally I'm just redlined, which then affects my emotional capacities, and then it's awful.
So, okay, personal question. On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think you're doing right now with practicing Sabbath?
I'm probably about a 10. I'm doing really well.
That's great. That's so good to hear.
Yeah. In my first year, I would have been like a 1.
Ugh.
Yeah. But
that's a big turnaround. That's the literal 180.
Yeah. I put more emphasis on it. Right now, my Sabbath looks like me and Taylor watching The Good Doctor, because I never watched it. So
that is a great show. It really is.
Don't tell anybody, but I find myself tearing up. It's so good.
It really,
Dr. Melendez
my
is
kids
my
actually
favorite.
turned me on to that show. Yeah.
What a guy.
I would say I'm probably like a 6, because we are practicing Sabbath, but there are times where,
freaking kids.
well, it is very hard to Sabbath with kids, but we planned it from Thursday night to Friday night, so that sometimes they're in school. Them going to school lately has been a crapshoot as it is, because close contact, quarantine, all of this, sick, runny nose, whatever. But I still, 2 weeks ago, I had a delivery for my job, a box of clothes, come, and normally I would take it and inventory it and whatever. I was like, no, I'm not doing that. But I was looking at the box going, I need to do something with that. I did not. I didn't do it. And thankfully, Jack, just kept reminding me, it's fine. We can do it tomorrow. It's not a big deal.
I'm blessed to be able to just throw stuff to the side and not dwell on it. I'm highly thankful for that.
This past Friday, I started cleaning my kitchen, and Jack was like, that can wait till tomorrow. And I was like, okay. I was like, but it's really dirty. It really could wait till tomorrow. Okay, so one of the things Josh said was, everyone desires to be fully known and deeply loved. And I had mentioned to you that the first time I ever heard that, I thought, I never realized that I wanted that. Mm-hmm. And I really think that is our deepest desire, to have somebody who we can be our complete true selves with. And the big idea really is like, how do we get there? It doesn't just happen, right? Like, I mean, I consider you a good friend, but there's tons of things that I don't know about you, or I probably don't even know your favorite color. I'm going to say black. I don't know.
Black and red. Yeah.
Okay. So, I'm doing this is my second time through it, the Ruthless Elimination of Hurry.
I haven't read it.
Oh my goodness.
Good.
Hurry up and read it.
I have this thing about John Mark Homer, because one day me and Aaron and a couple of the old residents sat down to watch like 3 sermons in one day, and everybody quoted him, and I was so annoyed.
Oh gosh, wow.
From 3 different churches. It was like Movement was one of them we watched online, but it's 2 others. I was like, what is going on?
Well, when Josh told me about this book, I had never even heard of him.
I heard he's really good.
Yeah. I haven't listened to any of his sermons. I've only read the book. So maybe you'll find some redemption there in the book. My initial point was, he said, like, love is, like, takes a painful amount of time. Mm-hmm. And that's so, like, grittingly honest, I think. It's like, if you want to really know people, you have to invest the time. Yeah. And if you're busy, you can't do it.
No, I was listening to one of my favorite podcasts. There's a European like Christian organization that does stuff. I think it's called like Unbelievable, but they have a segment show that's called Ask N.T. Wright, and N.T. Wright's one of my favorite scholars. Oh, yeah. And he had a sermon or lecture on agape love in the early church, and that was his whole point, that like if it isn't painful, then it's not love, because then it's contractual and you can just cut them off, right? And it's whatever. Like, it's going to be dirty and gritty and painful at times, but also right. Like the greatest moments of our life is loving those who at some level deeply know us and deeply love us.
Well, one illustration that I've heard a number of times, and I think you could probably relate to this a lot since you're in a newish relationship, but it was like, if you start dating let's say your spouse, but if you start dating somebody and you spend all of this time getting to know them, and then you get married, and then you're just like, whatever, I know you. You don't put any effort into it anymore. Trouble is coming, yeah. Right? So like it's like a marathon. It takes a lot of time, and it's hard and it's messy, yeah. But it's worth it, because that's a picture of what Jesus would do for us. So the the scripture illustration that Josh gave was from Acts, and he was talking about Lydia, Lydia, right?
Sounds right.
I think so. It's from Acts 16. I gave a paraphrase of it, and it was, in a surge of hospitality, she said, "Come and stay at my house," and she wouldn't take no for an answer. And that's a paraphrase, by the way. That's not the scripture. But so she offered for them to come to dinner, and like maybe there would have been some like cultural difficulties about, her inviting these men to her house to come for dinner. And they did it. And I just think there's so much to be said about sharing a meal with people. And we were talking about this with our kids at dinner the other night. It doesn't have to be like a fancy 4-course meal. You don't have to clean your house ahead of time. No. It could be coffee. It could be cookies.
Anybody can take me to Taco Bell, and that would be a beautiful.
Listen, 99-cent cheesy roll-up is the way to somebody's heart. Mm. I have a feeling
is the way to my heart.
that's probably like most of my family too. All right, so one more thing before we finish up. Josh gave us an acronym. Of course, it's 603. And 6 is for 6 unique relational investments every week. What do you, other than sharing a meal, what are some things you could suggest for people to do?
Yeah, Josh said things as easy as like dropping in a text, That'd be an easier thing. But again, like, it's whatever relationally, whatever the people in your life would need, whether it be dropping a text, whether it be like, hey, you want to get coffee, like anything.
I mean, it is like, it's nice to get a text from somebody you haven't heard from in a while, and you're like, oh, wow, that person thinks about me and they're caring about me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then the 0 is 0 people that are left alone to do life on their own. Yeah. And he even said that somebody alone is an emergency. Yeah. Can you build on that a little bit?
I mean, that's the heart of God. That no man left behind. He went to the furthest possible place, furthest point in love. And that is what love looks like. And it wasn't easy, and it was painful.
And often frowned on by society. Mm-hmm. I think about the story of the woman at the well. Yeah. And there was she had nobody with her. And he saw her for her. Yeah. He saw her as his daughter, and it changed her life.
Yeah, all of those stories get me. Like Zacchaeus, like tax collectors were hated. Like we hate taxes
right.
now, but like it was a deep hatred then, and he went to sit down and have a meal with him, and it's like for all of those.
And even Zacchaeus' friends were like blown away, like, why is this guy hanging out with you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite passages is in some of the scriptural, like, how do we deal with people who aren't living to the standard that they should. He ends up then saying, treat them like the prostitutes and tax collectors, and then leaves it at that. And for so long, I thought that meant, like, these are horrible people, but, like, what would Jesus do with the prostitute and tax collectors? Well, he would go share a meal with them. He wouldn't worry about his own reputation. He would go stand with a woman at a well and risk cultural backlash.
Right.
He would leave 0 people left out.
That's good. And then the number 3 is for who are your 2 people and someone new. Your 2 and someone new. So, like, if you think about who, 2 people in your life that you're spending consistently pouring into discipleship, contributing time to their life in whatever way that you're, spending time with them, and then somebody new, and if you don't know who it is, like, pray about it. Ask God, who do you have for me? Who can I, spend time, showing the love of Jesus. If somebody doesn't pop into your mind, which I'm pretty sure most of us would have somebody pop into their mind, pray about it and ask God.
Yeah, I've heard enough stories and experienced enough examples that if you're praying the 603 prayer, you'll find that one.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. For sure. Well, this has been a great time together. We are so glad that you have chosen to spend a little bit of time on your Tuesday night with us. If you've missed any of this message series, you can go back and look on YouTube at Move 603, or you can find it on Facebook as well. And we're here every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, and then we have Sunday morning at 9:30 and 11. So we hope to see you either one or the other, or both places would be great. All right, thanks for joining us.
Happy opposite day.
I forgot. Have a great week.